Has David Coleman Headley got away with a rather lenient sentence? Headlines today has accessed some key revelations of the 2611 plotter during the interrogation, which actually exposes how the United States completely ignored key evidence that nailed Headley and his role as a centerpiece in this dastardly plot. Let's just take you through some of the confessions that Headley had made. Well, Headley had disclosed to the US interrogators that how he decided to join the Lashkar-e-Taiba back in 2001, and he thought he'd fight for the cause of jihad. He actually remembered being extremely influenced by LET founder Hafiz Saeed during the Friday prayers at a mosque in Pakistan. Then he went on to elaborate, to reveal further the genesis of the 2611 plot, which according to him was laid first in 2005 at a safe house in Muzaffarabad in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. It was there he came across LET operators Sajid Mir and Hamza, who then indoctrinated him. He also revealed vital details of the reccees in India, for which he was reportedly paid a handsome amount. Headley said that he recceed vital installations in Delhi and in Mumbai, among other cities, while taking utmost care to conceal his identity, and he was in constant touch with the Hawar Hussain Rana all throughout. The minutest details of the plot, from discussing train schedules at CST, the bus timings, to buying wristbands for the terrorists from the Siddhi Vinayak temple so that they pass off as Hindus. This too was confessed by Headley himself, and most damningly, Headley revealed that the attackers were shifted to an LET camp in Muridke. Now, this is one of the most damning confession of Headley, that these plotters, these attackers were moved to a camp shortly before 2611, where they were regularly coached by Lashkar frontman Hafiz Saeed.
If you look at the statement of the judge when he was delivering the sentence, he made it very clear that David Headley deserved the death sentence. But however, since that was not an option, because the US government had accepted a plea bargain, they had agreed that there would be no death sentence and there would be no extradition. But if you look at the statement, I think the sentiment of the judge is very clear, that this was the kind of crime for which he deserved the death sentence, and he made it very clear that the so-called remorse that Headley was showing was not satisfactory, and that he remains a terrorist.
35 years of life imprisonment given to Headley is against the treasure trove of intelligence information he has given on plea bargain to the American intelligence agencies. When you don't have a focus, Headley would not have given you much. You would have invited him here, entertained him like Kasab. You have not hanged Afzal Guru at all, who should have been hanged just out of vote bank politics. So the crisis is with government of India. It is in paralysis. Its focus is, it is defocused, and the kind of statements it is giving, it looks that we are more pro-Pakistan than pro-India.
India has reacted to the sentencing of Pakistani-American Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorist David Coleman Headley, who was awarded a 35-year jail term by a US court for his unquestionable role in the massacre of 166 people in the 2008 Mumbai terror attacks. External Affairs Minister Salman Khurshid has said that India would have sought a longer jail term for the 2611 Mumbai attacks conspirator had he been tried in India.
This is a much larger landscape, and our concern and our efforts have been explained to the media and to the public at large from time to time. Unfortunately, not everything that we do we can tell you immediately, and for obvious reasons, for strategic reasons. But I can simply say that the fact that an American court has recognized the role of an accused in perpetrating this crime in India is actually is at least a good beginning. We would have liked a severer sentence, and as I said, we would have liked the accused to be tried in India, but at least a beginning has been made. We will continue our efforts to ensure that all such people are extradited and brought to India for trial.
कि जो प्ली बार्गेन उन्होंने एंटर किया है, ये एक्सट्रेडिशन नहीं होगा, ये उन लोगों के बीच में है. हम लोगों का रिक्वेस्ट एक्सट्रेडिशन का रहेगा, हम लोगों का एक्सट्रेडिशन का रिक्वेस्ट पेंडिंग है और वो हम लोग प्रेस करेंगे.
Somebody who has been accused of masterminding perhaps the most heinous terrorist outrage in recent Indian history, needs to be tried in accordance with the Indian laws. So therefore, that stand with regard to Headley, which has been articulated by both the External Affairs Minister and by the Home Secretary, going by the reactions which I've seen since the morning, is something which is non-negotiable.
डेविड हेडले पूरी तरीके से आतंकवादी गतिविधियों में शामिल रहे हैं। उनको जितनी से जितनी कठोर सजा मिले उतना मिलना चाहिए। उन्हें भारत सरकार को भी एक्स्ट्राडाइट कराने का प्रयास करना चाहिए ताकि यहां भी उनके खिलाफ कार्रवाई की जा सके।
हेडली ने पाकिस्तान और आईएसआई के निर्देश पर भारत में कोहराम मचाया, नरसंहार किया, परंतु उसकी सजा जिस गति के साथ और जिस तरह से कुशलता के साथ अमेरिकी व्यवस्था ने की है वो अभिनंदन के पात्र है। दूसरा, हेडली को जो 35 वर्ष का कारावास हुआ है उससे एक बार फिर स्थापित हो गया कि भारत में जो आतंकवाद है उसका प्रयोजन पाकिस्तान से होता है। और तीसरा,
in the struggle against terror, US administration has been pursuing different standards. The position of US remains to be self-centered. The war on terror is being used by US to bully other nations to protect its own interests. The observations made by the judge who pronounced the verdict are quite revealing and interesting.
Well, my colleague Atir Khan now joins us for all the latest on this story. Atir, it's a huge letdown indeed for India, especially by the US, who it considers a very key partner on the war on terror. What are the grounds for denying the plea for extradition, and what are the odds that Indian diplomacy will make some headway towards that front going forward?
Well, that's right. It's been a major disappointment, and now the extradition is entangled in the legal hurdles. We know it's a complicated issue. It involves international law, international diplomacy, and the political will. We know that the US has its own compulsions. If it extradites Headley to India, then it will lose its leverage on Pakistan. Therefore, the prosecution did not, it entered in a guilt bargain. But we know in India here, it's a major issue. In the elections of 2014, it is going to be an election issue, and the government is fully aware of this, and that's why we have these statements coming from senior leaders. However, we also know that at the time of elections, the government will have to reply to the opposition and the victims of 26/11. But so far, we know that there doesn't seem to be any legal recourse in this matter. Only political will or diplomacy would be able to be, bear fruits. But so far, the government will have to push hard to ensure that he is extradited and punished for his crime on the Indian soil.